Hello everyone, I'm Clack of the Geek. I am wearing a hat for no apparent reason. Anyway, you're not here to watch me ramble about silly hats. I'm imagining you're here to watch me review Doctor Who sets. So for a few years now, B&M have been releasing sort of waves of figures each summer of like Doctor Who figures, the 5-inch scale. And each year they just keep getting better and better. And this year's sets are just they've gone above and beyond with some of these. We've got different characters that we didn't think we'd see. We've got a great sort of variety of sets, and I have luckily managed to get a few of them. But the one we're going to be talking about today is this one, the U.N.I.T set from the Claws of Axos. Now, I've got a few others, and if you want me to review them, then just say in the comments. But let's get on with reviewing this set. So the figures come packaged in a window box display where you can see the figures and the accessories they come with. It's got the Doctor Who logo, a little bit of the TARDIS there, a golden limited edition sticker. It's got the name of the set, in this case it's the U.N.I.T 1971, the Claws of Axos Collector Figure Set. Try to say that when you're drunk. And it's got little information about some of the stuff. On the back of the box it's got the same stuff as before, just in a different layer, and it's got images of the 3 characters you get in the set. So here are the figures out from the set, the U.N.I.T set based on the Claws of Axos, the John Pope story. Pretty okay story, but I think this set is a great set. So as you can see, there's 3 figures in the set: the Brigadier, Sergeant Benson and Captain Yates. So we'll start off with the Brigadier first. So starting off with the Brigadier because this is pretty much a re-release of a figure we've seen before. We have seen this variant of the Brigadier before, but it's slightly different. I think maybe the colourings are slightly different. I think like the gloves might be a different colour. But other than that, it is pretty much a re-release of the previous Brigadier. But we'll go through it anyway. So obviously the head sculpt is very good. It does look a lot like Nicholas Courtney, the actor. And he's got the moustache, the beret, which is really nicely detailed, and it's got U.N.I.T written on it if it'll focus. It's not going to focus, but it does have U.N.I.T written on the beret. Obviously we've got the jumper and the shirt, so the green jumper, it's very nicely done, very nicely detailed. And you've got sort of the elbow pads on there, you've got the belt, you've got the little holster for his gun. And here we've got his trousers, which actually, something I didn't notice when I first saw these, but they have a little bit of weathering. They're not just a solid green, they do have a little bit of like sort of grey weathering. So that's a really nice detail. They didn't have to do that, but that's quite a cool detail. And the shoes are really nicely done, quite shiny, but yeah. So overall, it's a nice figure, but it's one that we've seen before, so it's not probably the main draw of the set. But the main draw to the set are the 2 new characters we're getting, Sergeant Benson and Captain Yates. So they're pretty much the same figure, just a different face sculpt, and we'll just show off Benson for the minute because he's probably the better one of the 2. Mainly because the head sculpt is just bang on like John Levine, because he has a very sort of distinct face, so you can recognise it quite easily. So yeah, the head sculpt is very nicely done, and so is the beret. Looking at the outfit, it's very nicely done with all the straps and the pockets and the sort of creases and the buckles, and they're very nicely detailed, so that's very good. Another good detail, he has the sergeant markings on his arms, so that's very key, very important detail, so yeah, that's very good. And then the trousers are just standard green colour with black shoes, so yeah, it's a very good figure, I think. And finally we have Captain Yates. This is probably the weaker, this is definitely the weakest figure of the set, in my opinion, because it is pretty much the same as the Benton figure, except with a different head sculpt and without the sergeant markings, which is important because it's a different rank of officer. But I don't know, it's just the face sculpt isn't, because it's not as recognisable, I don't think, it doesn't quite set the figure off as well. But the detailing of the body and the uniform is still really nicely done. Another thing to note, Benton and Yates both come with these machine gun accessories. They're lovely, these. They're really nicely sculpted with like the scope there, the different sort of ridges and the different the shape. It just looks great, and you can get a lot of posability with these guns because you can have, there's a lot of posability with them. Quickly looking at the articulation, the figures, all these figures have the same articulation, so they have movement at the head, the shoulders, the biceps, elbows, wrists, the waist, the hips, the thighs and the knees. So overall, I think this is a very, very good set. You've got 3 great figures. Benton is great. It's still nice to get Yates, and you can sort of do some army building with these guys. That's great. And if you did miss out on the Brigadier, this is a nice, cheaper alternative to get him without having to fork over a lot of money on eBay just to get him. The set costs £20 and is available in B&M stores from now until whenever. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more of the B&M figure reviews, just let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell so you do not miss a thing. And this is Clack of the Geek signing out. Goodbye, everyone.